Hey, brothers and sisters, and welcome back to 4 Minute Church. I want to thank y'all. I have had a couple of responses when I ask for scripture that you might want expanded on or questions you might want answered. And I'm constantly seeking more, so please let me know. I want to talk to you today. This was a request. Someone asked me to expand a little bit on these scriptures. Now, hear this. This is from Luke chapter 10, beginning at the 38th verse. I'm reading from the NIV. As Jesus and his disciples were on their way home, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he said. Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. And she came to him and asked, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do all the work by myself? Tell her to help me." "Martha, Martha," the Lord answered, "you're worried and upset about many things, but only one thing is needed. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her." I usually feel kind of sorry for Martha here. I think anybody that likes to see things done correctly feels a little sorry for Martha. Martha reminds me a little bit of my mother-in-law, the most wonderful, hospitable woman I know, an amazing woman of God. She's 91 now, but in her younger days, she used to love to cook, and she was a great cook. I loved my mother-in-law's cooking. And as wonderful a cook as she was, when the preacher was coming to dinner, she felt like she had to go a step beyond. She said, when the preacher's coming, everything's got to be just right. Well, I think Martha was a lot like that. And today, in our story, suddenly Martha is confronted with not one, but 12 preachers, 13 preachers coming to her home. And so Martha thinks everything's got to be just right. And she gets this lavish meal cooked. She's got bread cooking and good meat, lots of vegetables. And I'm sure she wants to go all out for Jesus. The problem with it is the King James Version says she was cumbered by many things. The NIV, the NRSV, I believe, also says distracted. But the word in the Greek that's used doesn't just mean she was a little upset by various things. The word has a connotation of dragging around, upset. She wanted things to go all wonderfully, but Martha wasn't doing it with the correct spirit. Yes, a 7-course meal is wonderful, and if you can prepare a 7-course meal for a bunch of people and invite them over and do it with a good, loving spirit, then invite me to your house. I'd love to go. In this case, what Jesus was saying is not Martha shouldn't have been worried about getting everyone something to eat. They were tired, they were hungry, but sometimes a sandwich and a little soup will work. She was too worried about going all out, and she was doing it with the wrong spirit. That was the problem. Not that she was working, but that she was doing it the wrong spirit, first of all. And then second of all, look how she treated her sister. In front of the whole party, she goes out there and calls her sister out. "Lord, tell her to help me." And Jesus says, Mary's chosen the right thing. You see, it's important to listen before we act. Action always is preceded by listening. Martha didn't take an opportunity to listen to the Lord to see what it was the Lord wanted her to do. She went off on her own little tangent. And so I promise you, every pastor in the world wishes that he or she had a congregation with a bunch of Marthas in it, because that's the only way you're going to get a bunch of stuff done. But we also pray that those Marthas will take time to listen for what it is the Lord's calling them to do. And then put all your energy into what it is God's calling you to do. First, be still and know that I am God. And then, by all means, go at it full force. But if you can't do it with the right spirit, don't do it. I remind you of something I used to have to tell my wife quite often. She was always the first one to jump up and say yes when asked to do something for the church or the children's school. No is a complete sentence. And if you're encumbered by a lot of things in this world, sometimes you just got to say no. I got to take care of me, and I got to hear what it is the Lord's calling me to do. Until next time, friends, I love you. The Lord bless and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and grant you peace. See you next time.